Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Seeing lots of familiar names in the chat. We'll just give it a minute to let everyone jump in. Hello, hello. Welcome back. Awesome. So welcome back, everyone. If this is your first talk of the day, welcome. And if you've been at our other conversations, then welcome back. So excited to have you all here. And now we have a really special session with Marcy Garcia, who's an acclaimed Miami-based designer, passionate about sustainable and mindful designs that contribute to the well-being of their occupants, which is especially important now that we're spending so much time indoors. So today she's going to be giving you a rundown of the best tips for sustainable and holistic interior design. So without further ado, Marcy.
Thank you, Zoe. Hi, everybody. So my name is Marcy Garcia, and today we're going to be talking about the approach that I take on my design practice, which is basically the marriage between sustainability and mindful design. So let me share my screen. Okay. Give me 1 second while I do this.
No worries.
Okay, so you let me know when you see my screen. That's that.
Okay, great. I see your screen now.
I'm good. Okay, perfect. So basically this session is gonna be about how I run my business and how I got here and how I continue to practice all this with my clients. So first of all, well, my name is Marcy Garcia. Interior design is my second college degree. My first degree is in social services. I started interior architecture and design in San Francisco, and I've been practicing interior design for 15 years now. I do work in residential and commercial. In South Florida, I've done work in the Caribbean, in the New York, New Jersey area, Arizona, Texas, and in California. And I've been the owner of the MG Design Lab for 5 years. Being a business owner was not my main goal. It just happened that I quit my job at a design firm and I ended up opening up a design business because I was doing a lot of freelance work. But I will tell you a little bit more about that later on, so you can hear my whole story. So why and how did I start with sustainability and how I ended up developing a holistic approach in my business? So it didn't happen from one day to another. This is a process. Like my favorite saying regarding to sustainability and mindfulness is sustainability is a process, it's not a destination. So it didn't happen from one day to another. I lived in California for 10 years in San Francisco. So you all know that San Francisco and California in general is a very liberal city. They care a lot about the environment. So I was put that little chip in my mind since then. Then I started researching about sustainability, about how we as human beings we do have an impact on what we do, not only in our personal lives, but what we do for a living on the earth. And especially as designers, we interior designers, we have a lot to do. We are catalysts of change. So I started thinking about that. Then I started seeing that people that I work with, carpenters, painters, constructors, they will get these illnesses, they will get cancer, they will get like all these illnesses. So I'm like, okay, so what is this? Then I experienced fertility issues. And that was my tipping point. That's when I decided to really make a change, to start investing my time and my efforts in sustainability and in making my company sustainable and taking a mindful design into interior design. Then, of course, I continue with personal growth. The more you know about this, the more you want to know, and the more you want to let and teach the people what you know. I also want to have a business with a purpose. Yeah, interior design is an amazing business. It's not an easy one. And my goal is not only, I mean, of course, you have to charge for your design, you need to make money. But my main goal is to really teach people and reach a lot of people in regards to sustainability and mindfulness and the impact that we as interior designers have in the built environment. At the end of the day, I just want to make a difference, and that's why I'm doing this. That's why I will continue to do that. I've been doing and practicing sustainability and mindfulness for 3 years in my business. I used to practice it in my personal life, personally before, but now I make a point that in every single project that I have, either residential or commercial, I will bring the following principles that I'm going to show you. So we're going to start by my motto. My motto is sustainability plus scientific-based research on human health and wellness plus mindfulness equals a holistic approach to interior design. And this is how I run my business. This is how I run every single project that comes in our doors. We're going to start talking about like some basic facts. So as I said, sustainability is a process, it's not a destination. We only have one planet Earth, and if we destroy it, what will we do, right? So let's read about some facts. 10% of the global economy is dedicated to buildings, their construction, operation, and the equipping of these homes and offices. Fact number 2, buildings account for 40% of the materials entering the global economy each year. 3 billion of raw materials are turned into foundations, walls, pipes, and building finishes. Facts 3 and 4. Buildings consume enormous resources. 1/6 of the world's freshwater withdrawals, 1/4 of the world's wood harvest, and 2/5 of the world material and energy flows. It takes 1.25 acres of forest to construct the average US home. Some other facts. Statistics show that the United States comprises less than 6% of the world's population, but consumes 25% of the world's energy. And citizens own 32% of the world's automobiles. 110 million Americans live among such high levels of air pollution, the federal government considers it to be harmful to their health. There is about 3 million pieces of used office furniture that is put into landfill every year. This is totally crazy. The textile industry is the second largest polluter in the world. So what can we do about it? So now I'm going to talk about the principles basically and how I take every single project that comes into our office. So we designed for this 5 basic principles: energy and water efficiency, low environmental impact, waste reduction, longevity and flexibility, and healthy environments. So what does it mean? Energy and water efficiency. So energy is energy usage is one of the major contributors to climate change. And we as designers can help reduce the amount of the energy needed in the buildings to reduce cooling, heating, and just lighting. How can we do that? Well, the best and the basic approach is to use the sun. We need to know and we need to understand how we can use the north, the south, the east, and the west in our designs. Second one, we can install solar panels when we are designing homes. There is a myth about solar panels. Solar panels are really not that expensive. Yeah, there is an initial cost for it, as anything, as a car, right, or as a house. But once you do all the calculations, you are gonna realize how much energy and how much money you're saving. I finished a project here in Miami about a month ago, and we installed Tesla solar panels. We did the calculations with the owner and with the installer, with the vendor, and the overall cost that my client is gonna save in a span of 20 years is about $50K. So figure that out. And the cost of the solar panels, it was a big house. It was not small, it was about 10K. So, and he's saving money, he's saving the environment, he's saving a lot of things. Another myth that I've seen is regarding the usage of LED lights. Again, people think that LED lights are this ugly white colored tubed lighting from the past. No, nowadays we have beautiful lighting, LED lighting that has every single color imaginable. You just need to know what kind of color you need to use depending on the space that you're designing. We talk about water efficiency. Make sure that if you are sourcing and you're proposing plumbing fixtures, that they are water efficient. That is the easiest way to make a home water efficient. Also make sure to use tankless water heaters. If you live in a home or you're designing a home, do a little bit of research on gray water systems. What are gray water systems? These are systems in which you use water that is not contaminated from the sinks, for example, and you use it in another part of the house. Also make sure that you specify and select materials that are low impact to the environment. Materials that are renewable. What does it mean? That this manufacturer makes this chair from a material that renews itself quickly, and it doesn't take thousands of years to renew. Also make sure that you tell your clients, you let them understand what the difference is in between selecting something that is gonna last 6 months compared to something that is gonna last you a lifetime. So that's, you can pay 10% more, 20% more, but what are the savings when you look into the future? At the end of the day, we wanna create healthy environments. We live inside our interiors 90% of the time. That means that we really, as designers, we need to be aware on how we design in the built environment, how we propose certain materials and certain furnishings to our clients. Here are some material guidelines that we use when we are sourcing. So we look for reduced material content. We source for recycled material content, renewable material content, sustainable manufacturing practices, reduced toxic emissions, low impact materials, locally manufactured. What does locally manufactured mean? It means that the materials are manufactured within 35 miles from where you live or from where the item or the goods are gonna be delivered. Durable and long-lasting, adaptable and reusable, biodegradable, reduced packaging, and carbon neutral. Basically, when we're sourcing for materials, we have these guidelines. It is almost impossible to have a material that is the perfect material that complies with all this guidelines that we're looking for. As for us, sustainability is a process. We support vendors, we support manufacturers that have made a commitment to sustainability. Every single day, all these manufacturers are working towards improving their products. And that's what, as a company, we like to see. So we like to see little steps towards sustainability. And if a company makes that and has that commitment, then we're gonna support that company. These are a few certifications, and this is very important. There are tons of certifications out there in the market, certifying materials, certifying products. So it's important that you understand what they are and what they represent in order for you to decide if you're shopping with your values. So these are just a few that we use. So the Green Guard certified basically ensures that a product has met the most comprehensive standards for low emissions of VOCs into the indoors. So when I see a product or a material that has this Green Guard, I know that it's safe to use indoors, for a fact. Then Energy Star. So Energy Star, most of you know Energy Star. It just tells us and rates appliances, electronics, and lighting. What does it mean? If you see the Energy Star seal, it means that that product will conserve energy. Then we have FSC that accredits companies that exhibit responsible consumption of forest products. Fair Trade certified. It pledges, when you see the Fair Trade certified seal, it pledges that that company improves the lives of its workers. Then we have the Green Seal certified. Represents a company's compliance with a rigorous set of criteria designed to achieve leadership in levels of sustainability. It has a commitment to health and to the environment. Then we have Water Sense. When you see the Water Sense, it means that the plumbing fixture will help save water. The Rainforest Alliance, and this seal certifies that farms and forests and any products that they produce are economically, socially, and environmentally sustainable. The last one that I have here is the Floor Score. That Floor Score is only for flooring products, and it's one of the most recognized indoor air quality certifications. It means that when you see that seal, either the flooring, the materials, the adhesives, the underlayments produce low VOC emissions, and it's good indoor air quality. Now we're gonna talk about mindfulness. The way that I take on mindfulness is based on a scientific-based approach, on research that has been done by doctors, by different people, and there is a lot of data out there. So that's how I base these principles. So we start with the air. So we want air standards. We want to make sure, again, because we spend 90% of our time indoors, we need to make sure that the air that we're breathing is safe and is not going to make us sick. So we need to have certain air standards inside any space that we decide. It means that we need to be selective and be very careful on the materials, the finished materials that we use for construction. We need to pay attention to the mechanical systems. How are they built? What's the kind of air filtration that we're using? The kind of cleaning products that we're using. This one, the cleaning products, is very, very, for my residential clients, that is something that I emphasize a lot, especially nowadays. And we need to pay attention to moisture and mold control. With the water, we need to make sure that we have water that is good quality water. And throughout our design, we need to promote water drinking. Yes, as a designers, we can promote certain actions from our clients. We also think about nourishment. Obviously, I'm not telling my client what to eat, but I can influence him through my design actions on how to handle food, how I can select surfaces that are antimicrobial. I can design for safe food preparation. I need to make sure and to design places for hand washing, residential and commercial. And we need to design places for safe food storage. There are certain foods that you cannot mix because the food is gonna get contaminated. So that's how you need to teach your client. You need to be aware of all these things and teach your client that through design, you can achieve a certain level of nourishment. Now we talk about the light. Lighting is very important when we're talking about mindfulness. So lighting is proven to affect our behavior. How many times you've been in an office with no windows and at 11 in the morning, you just want to sleep. You want to go to sleep. That's caused by bad lighting design. So we need to design areas that allow for natural lighting and allow for the circadian rhythm to prosper. What is the circadian rhythm? We are born with a rhythm, with a 24-hour rhythm, and it depends and it's based on the natural light that we receive. That's why nowadays when you see, you're lately seeing a lot of information about not using your cell phone at night because cell phone emits a warmer light that is similar to the light of the sun. And what it's doing is changing our circadian rhythm and making our brain think that is daylight instead of the night. So we need to be aware of that. What kind of lighting are you proposing and speccing inside offices? What kind of lighting are you speccing for bedrooms when you know that your clients need to go to, like, are just gonna sleep? So we need to be aware of that. We are catalysts for fitness and comfort, both in residential and commercial. You tell me, how am I a catalyst for fitness in residential? Nowadays, we need to be emphatic that you need to design for your client to be able to move. I see tons and tons of the interiors that are so packed with the stuff that your client just takes the same circulation pattern every single day and does not actually move at all. So you need to make your client, through your actions, be able to use his body and exercise. Nowadays, you know, I think, and I'm doing it with my clients, I'm definitely proposing a space for a gym, not necessarily a room, but I can do it outdoors. I could, like, we're figuring out different ways in which I'm helping my clients move their bodies. Also about comfort. Comfort is not only about a comfortable sofa, it's about the accessibility and usability of the space. Sometimes we design things that are not accessible, that are not usable. In all our homes, for example, we have cabinets that are 10 feet tall, and who's gonna use that? So ergonomics, think about ergonomics. Interiors, we need to design based on our clients. It's not anymore about the buildings, it's about our clients and how we can help our clients thrive inside the interior. Noise control. Very important to pay attention to all the materials that you use when you know the kind of client you're designing for. If you're designing for a family with children, so we need to design and select and source based on that. Thermal comfort as well. Make sure that when you're inside the interior, you feel comfortable, that you don't feel that you're dying because you're hot or you're too cold, or like this room has this temperature and the other room has the other temperature. And now is the principle about mindfulness, how all of us know it. For me, mindfulness in design is basically designing based on my clients. It's not about me, because I don't work in that space. I don't live in that space. It's all about them. What I do to incorporate this specific part is I do a very thorough interview with almost every single person that is going to use the space, because I want to know what they want. I want to know how they are. I want to know what they like. I want to know if they have like low pressure, you know. If I know those details, I know how to support their health through my design. Here are a few guidelines that we can use when we talk about mindfulness. Is health and wellness awareness. One of the things that I'm doing right now is I created a booklet, and whenever I sign a client, that's like the welcome gift, a health and wellness awareness booklet. I also think that post-occupancy surveys are extremely important in order for us designers to get better in how we help our clients and how we can promote health and wellness in the interiors. We need to help with adaptable spaces, healthy sleep, stress management. Stress management, especially in residential, is something that I found I am a catalyst for change, because I've seen how clients that hated to go back home after their home is designed, they are willing just to go back home and they're happy, and they have I usually create special places, special areas for each person in a home. And now we're going to talk about biophilia. Biophilia is basically a concept that we use in the industry to connect the interiors to the natural environment. Not every single built environment can be connected indoor, outdoor. Not every room in the house can have a tree in the middle. There are different strategies that we can use to bring the biophilic aspects into the home. Windows, that is for me number one. So the more windows you have, the better. and make the windows accessible. Don't cover them with furniture and don't cover them with private offices. Windows need to be accessible. Natural light brings life to people. We can bring elements of nature. How? Yeah, by plants. Plants is the most obvious, but through wallpaper, through sustainable wood, through murals that represent nature, water features, any nature-like pattern, even if it's in a pillow, that is helping our brain to connect to nature.
Hey, Marcy, so sorry to interrupt. Unfortunately, we are out of time. I know we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours, but thank you so much for this amazing presentation. And thank you to everybody who sent in questions. Marcy, would you feel comfortable typing your email in the chat and people can reach out to you for more?
Actually, let me move this here, and there you go. So you have my information there.
Marcy at themglab.com. Excellent. Thank you so much, Marcy. This was absolutely wonderful. And sorry that we couldn't have longer, but we'll definitely have more talks like this in the future. And we definitely would love to hear from you again. So thank you so much to everybody who attended. And our next talk will start in several minutes. The link is in the chat, and we're going to be talking about ability inclusive design. So we'll see you all there. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye-bye.